Good evening folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dave Keefe and this is Avernus Biker Lifestyle. I'm sure you're much more used to me saying good morning to you when we've been heading out to boot sales and the like, but I'm just kicking back on a Saturday evening and I just thought I'd go through just a few sales that I've had this week in no particular order of dates or value. I've just picked out 10 sales at random and I'm going to go through them with you. The reason I'm doing this is so it's basically like my other videos, so it can give you an indication of what you can be looking out for when you're out and about, but also a price point for things that you wouldn't necessarily think there's any value in. These items have all gone out this week and I'm pretty happy with the way the week's panned out actually, particularly off the back of last week. For a lot of people, last week's sales were dire just across the platform, and there's a lot of people that were having a bit of a tough time with the figures, myself included. This week we've turned a bit of a corner, that particularly the early part of the week, the algorithm really turned the tap on. So it's getting back to the stage now where I'm more than happy with my figures and the way things are progressing. So without further ado, we're going to head over to the computer screen and have a look at what kind of things been selling. Okay, so first up, these are particularly nice Adidas Predator Tango football boots. A good adult size 12. These haven't been in a long at all. I think I picked them up about a month ago. I paid £4 for these and I'm fairly confident I got them from a charity shop. These are going out for £34.99 and I put £3.99 postage on them. As I've mentioned in previous videos, football boots are something that I'm learning about a lot of. They are piquing my interest for no particular reason. I don't even particularly like football, and as you can tell from the physique, I am hardly a sporty kind of guy, but football boots, I know some of them go for ridiculous money, so it's something that I really want to hone my skills on. So a really nice return on these. Like I say, £4 into £34.99 plus postage is nothing to be sniffed at. Next up, we've got a nice turntable. This turntable came as part of a bundle of items. I've got, I think there's 3 turntables plus some mini discs and some other bits and pieces. I paid £45 for the whole bundle. So I've put a value on this turntable of £7. This turntable is for a stack system. There's no power unit for it individually. It gets its power, I think it's from the amp, but you can actually buy a converter for the plug that's on this unit to turn it into a standalone player. So I'm going to put a value of £7 on this because of the amount I paid for the bundle, just breaking it down. And this is going out for £29.99 plus £6.99 postage. This will probably cost around the £6.5 mark maximum for postage, but it's in lovely condition. I'm sure the buyer's going to be over the moon with it. Next item is a Sony DVD recorder. Sony, I don't have to insult your intelligence by saying Sony is a fantastic brand and a very well recognized brand as well. This DVD recorder, the model is the RDR GXD 360. It does all those funky things there, the DVD rewriter and all that kind of stuff. Fully tested. I paid £6 for this, and again, I believe it was from a charity shop, and it's going out for £39.99 plus £6.99 postage. Again, this will be going out with the courier, so it's going to be around £6.5 to post it. What I'm doing a lot more lately is adding postage to my sales. When I started out for a long time, I included the postage thinking that it was a selling point, but over the last 6 months I've been trialing adding postage and it really hasn't affected my figures, and it usually means that you can squeeze an extra couple of quid out of a deal as well. I've thrown these in there to this video because they were in my last video. Over the last few weeks, this is the second lot of these microphones that I've sold. Very, very fast sellers. They didn't hang around at all. Not massive margin in, but what you've got to bear in mind is if you're turning over stock very, very regularly, or very quickly, should I say, then there's no harm in taking a lower margin. You're just churning it over more regularly and keeping that income coming in, keeping your stock refreshed all the time. So these microphones are the SingStar wired microphones for Sony PS2, PS3, and I did check they are compatible with PS4 as well. They're for like karaoke type games and that kind of stuff. I paid £4 for them, and they're going out for $14.99, including the postage. Now this was the fastest sale I've had for quite a while. I've picked up a load of jackets just recently for no particular reason, but this one is a Polo by Ralph Lauren waterproof jacket. Nothing special, it's a lined jacket, but it's not fleece or anything like that. It's just fabric lined, so it's a bit more substantial and sort of like a cagoule or mac, if you will. Excellent condition. This was a little bit of a strange one. No idea what had happened to this jacket, but it felt quite sticky when I picked it up. I've had it before where sometimes items that have a rubber coating, when the rubber degrades, it goes a bit sticky, and it was a similar kind of feel to this jacket, but there was no degradation in the fabric. It looked in absolutely mint condition, but it really smelt funky. Not bad, but like perfume had been poured all over it. So I ran it through the washing machine a couple of times and half killed the smell. It was still there, so I've mentioned that in a listing. But the fastest sale, I think this was on sale for no more than an hour and a half. I paid £4 for it again, and that's obviously going out for $19.99 plus $3.99 postage. So a healthy profit and a very fast sale. I could have probably eked out the price a little bit more, but checking the comps, I couldn't find this exact jacket, so I was playing it safe and pitching it around about the what I thought was the right kind of mark. Again, in my last video, you'll have noticed when on the way back from the Yorkshire boot sale that I went to, I stopped off at my favourite charity shop, and I managed to pick up a bundle of bike leathers from it. If memory serves, there was 10 to 12 items in that bundle, so I've broken down the cost and just put a blanket cost of £15 on each of these items. I didn't expect these particular trousers to hang around very long at all. They're in really nice condition. They're a very well recognised bike brand, and you tend to find that race leather sold a lot quicker than like the leather jeans type stuff. So because it's bundled, like I said, I've put a value of £15 on these, and they're going out for $62.99 plus $4.99 postage. Now I'm fairly sure these were only listed for about a day, so fast sellers as well. Next up, rollerblades. One thing that I recommend you always check out is adult size rollerblades and roller skates. They are very good sellers if you can get them at the right money. Even ones that look well worn, they look a bit fancy, as is the case with these. It doesn't really matter that they're not the best brand in the world. Do your research. There was very few, if any, comps for this particular brand, which is Airwalk, but because of what I paid for them, I was very confident in picking them up, and because I've had a history of selling roller skates and roller boots in adult sizes very successfully. So these ones, again, I got from a charity shop, paid £4.50 for them, and they're going out for $34.99 plus $4.99 postage. These are over 2 kilos, so they will be going by courier again, so I'm looking at probably £6.50 to send it. But even so, when you've done all the figures, the profit is definitely there with these items. So look out for adult size roller skates and roller boots, guys. I think it was last week I made a song and dance about picking up a load of phones from one of the car boots that I went to in Yorkshire. These were from a bundle. This was a set that I picked up at the Yorkshire car boot. I didn't think they'd hang around very long at all. The cordless phones are usually good news, particularly if you can get them in 2 or more. So I mean, you can still make some money if you pay very little on single handsets, but if they've got answering machines and there's more than one handset, you're on a winner. These ones though stood head and shoulders above the crowd. Normally I'm getting for a twin pair of cordless phones, I might be looking at £20–25 thereabouts, but these, because they looked a bit special, look very fancy, they're almost art deco, if you will. They were very strong sellers, very quick sellers. So these phones I paid £3 for from the car boot, and they're going out for $39.99 plus $4.99 postage. So a very, very healthy profit on that one. Just a brand to be watching out for as well on these, folks. IDECT, I-D-E-C-T. These particular ones are the IDECT Eclipse Plus call blocker. Like I say, because they look fancy and unusual, that's probably what helped the higher end sale as well. So look out for eye decked and just generally branded cordless phones. Now this is an item I've been sat on for a little while, maybe a month, 6 weeks, which in the grand scheme of things isn't, obviously it isn't forever. It just goes to prove though, old tech still has a market. This is the Creative Zen Micro MP3 Player. It's 5 gig internal memory, but I think it does have space for an SD card as well. Checked it all out, it's in really, really nice condition. I paid £5 for this, boxed with all its accessories, and that's going out for $39.99 plus $3.95 postage. Last on the list of 10 for today. I'm probably going back about 5 or 6 months now. I got an absolute load of fur coats. Now I know it's probably a bone of contention for a lot of people, but the whole bundle were all vintage coats. So I don't have any moral issues with selling vintage items. I certainly wouldn't condone personally any new items of that ilk. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I have a business to run. I forget now how many coats I picked up. I think it was around 15, varying styles and sizes. And they've been very steady sellers. I've been sent a few abroad, which is unusual really, because I sent one to the States and it got stopped at customs. So because the coat didn't actually end up getting to the buyer, eBay refunded the buyer and let me keep the sale price because they should have picked up on that. But that aside, this coat, I'm going to put a value of £7 on it because of the bundle. I think I paid it was around about the £100 mark for 15 coats. Like I say, for argument's sake, put a value of £7 on this coat, and this is going out for $69.99 plus $4.99 postage. So as you can see, we've got a broad spectrum of items there. I just pulled these 10 items out at random from all the sales that I've made this week. And like I say, it was just to highlight things that you might not necessarily have looked at when you're doing your sourcing. It's important to know that although it's nice to look for the higher end value stuff, sometimes it's just to keep your algorithm healthy with eBay and just to keep your stock flowing through a nice stock movement. There's no harm in looking for the lower value items. Personally speaking, as far as my business model is concerned, I'm trying to move away from the very low, the sub £10 item values, purely and simply because for the return it's expensive as far as time's concerned. I think ultimately what I'm trying to say is a case of working smarter, not harder. If I can spend an extra hour sourcing higher value items and not having spent that time faffing about with low value items, then I can create more revenue for my business. Now it'd be really interesting to hear how you guys have been getting on this week. Let me know if you've noticed a difference in sales this week compared to last. Like I say, I'm hearing that from a lot of people. So let me know by leaving a message in the comments below this video. If you find this kind of video useful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel reach more people. Again, this is becoming a bit of a tagline for me. The reason I'm doing it is because I get a kick out of the fact that I might be helping somebody out of financial difficulty. So give the video a thumbs up and let's get the word out. Last but by no means least, just below this video you'll see the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, click that and the notification bell will give you a notification of the next time I put a video up. Now looking out of my window, it's looking very, very bleak for the boot sales tomorrow morning. This doesn't mean I'm going to rest on my laurels though. We're going to be getting out to an indoor car boot at the very least and possibly even looking a bit further afield. So now I'm going to wrap this video up and do some research into looking for other indoor car boots that I'm not already familiar with. Thank you very much indeed for your continued support of this channel, guys. It really is a massive, massive compliment. I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. You better get serious.